Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Meet She Makes Up. Today I want to play around with Victoria Beckham's makeup. As you saw from the thumbnail, I will also be using her new lid luster she released on her birthday called Starlight, and I'll show you. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. I haven't gone in to swatch it. You guys can tell, but I just can't wait. We're going to create a look, and I think what I'm going to do is use an eyeliner because I also, with the same order of Starlight, grabbed one of her Satin Kajal Liner. And this is actually the first liner of hers that I purchased. This is in the shade Ash. First liner purchased because I've been meaning to try this product, and I think I'm looking around now. I have a number of Victoria Beckham makeup, so we're gonna use as much or actually all of it today. We're gonna use one of her cheek products. We'll try out different shades here. We're definitely gonna use her Posh Lipstick. I think this is Moody. This is Moody. And then possibly Posh Gloss as well, which is the newest line of product. Well, I shouldn't say it's the newest. She had a clear gloss in her line, but she's expanded it and added some neutral colors. It's probably one of my favorite lip glosses, if not my favorite lip gloss. It's also really exciting that she has made her makeup line available at other online retailers as well. So yeah, I just want to play around with makeup, show you some of the new stuff I got from Victoria Beckham, and then before I get in too far with just putting on makeup, there's also the amazing matte bronzing brick. This is in 02. And really suits my skin tone even during the summertime when I have way more color, sun. I use this more right now because it's still early spring. I can use this for a nice little contour, so we'll get into that as well. Let me go ahead and swatch Starlight. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. And I wore this dress on purpose because, it's not like a golden tone or anything. It's not too matchy, but it's going to complement Starlight for sure. And while I'm at it, why don't I go ahead and actually swatch the other lid lusters that I have of Victoria Beckham in my collection. I think Tea Rose was the first one I got. I love Tea Rose. I love mauve, purple kind of tones, and this is exactly that. Tea Rose is actually more sparkly than Starlight. Actually, Tea Rose in general is a lot more sparkly than some of her other lid luster shades. Then we have Mink, very deep, kind of grungy gunmetal shade. I've combined, or I've used and created looks using Mink and Tea Rose. Turns out beautifully. I don't even think you need to, just depends on what you want to do. You need to use like matte shades to complement it. You could of course do that, but these two will give you dimension in of itself. And then prior to Starlight, she released two other new lid luster shades last fall called Mirror and Chiffon. These are all pretty classic shades that kind of, round out the collection and have more kind of basic shades available. So this is Chiffon. This is a really nice lid topper, and depending on your skin tone, you could use it all over the lids as well. It's kind of like a champagne, has like a bit of a pink undertone to it. And then Mirror is silver, so I'm actually going to swatch it above Starlight. So now we have gold and silver. Beautiful. Okay, for the Kajal Pencil in Ash, let me swipe that or draw it for you. So this is Ash, and then each one of these pencils on the other end is a smudger. Brilliant. So you can go in. Very easy to diffuse. And actually I had tried this, or I kind of drew with this before, and then I just use one of these makeup erasers with water. It came off really easily. So I'm curious of its stain power. I think it's, you know, now I have a nice collection of items that I need to update you guys on performance, how they wear and everything like that. So this will be included in that up and coming video. Let's get into Ash. I'm going to put this generously above my lash line, then we'll go in with the smudger. Really, really smooth the way it goes on. And I'm just going to spread it out a bit. Hopefully not too thin here, that's not the goal. So I think I've went overboard. You can see it transferred onto the lower lid here. I think next time I just don't need to do as much right where the lashes are, and I could just smudge it into the lashes. But it's so far easy to diffuse. I just need to make some corrections with my Q-tip here, a little bit of cleanup before things get too messy. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that for now, and then I'm just gonna go in with Starlight. I'm using a finger because I do want this to be very generously placed on the lid. And we're actually gonna cover Ash as well, not all the way. And then taking a brush just at the end here, I am diffusing it. Adding a bit more Starlight. And then just kind of packing it all on the center for more impact. I'm okay with how this looks. We'll leave it like this. I don't know if I want to do anything to the lower lash line. I'm just going to work on the other eye, and then we'll see. We'll see what else there is to do. I'm looking at this, and we could leave it as is because this is a look. There's also the option to not put more Kajal, at least not this way. Maybe just use what's left on the smudger. The pencil is super easy to use. It just glides on, but anytime you want to do something intense, there's quite a bit of transfer here that I had to go back, and it's still, I mean, it's still there. So I'm very hesitant to add more because I think it's just going to get messy. And I'm not really interested in testing the liner that way to see like how well is it going to stay. No, I think that's just too many corrections. So I will lightly go back from the smudger end and just add some color to the bottom like this. Just very, like a hint. Just a hint of color. And I could actually pop Chiffon onto the center of the lid so there's even more of a glisten, but I kind of like how it looks because Starlight sitting on Ash, it gives you almost like a dual chrome effect because you're layering on these two like different colors, and I kind of like that, so maybe we don't mess around with that. We could put Chiffon on the inner corner so it's not just like gold and nothing else. We just add a little bit of something to the inner corner that just adds a little bit more interest. It just helps to brighten this area. And you could use Starlight if you wanted to. I just wanted something different. And I guess you could even call it a very classic shade to use for the inner corner. For blush, I have 3 shades here. We have Knickers, which is such a sweet pink. And this will surely go with really any look. And then Major, which is more of a kind of medium rosy pink, followed by Roller Skate, the brightest of the 3. think it depends what we want to do with the lips. If we do a dramatic lip, well, we could do, you know, a lighter, more neutral lip as well and just let the eye stand out as is. But I want to experiment because it's just one of those videos. I'm going to go with the more neutral shade because I haven't decided on the lip. This is going to be flattering on most any lip color and it won't pull away or it won't take away from the look. So I am going with Knickers here. These blushes are pretty pigmented, but they diffuse very easily. So if you do want more concentrated color, you'd have to go back a couple of times. I feel like the next item, the next thing the brand should release, or we're getting there, is going to be hopefully foundation and concealer. I really look forward to that. Because we now have, last year there was the matte bronzing bricks, so now we have like pressed powder, and then we have gloss this year. Before the glosses there were the cream stick blushes, glosses, so what else is left, right? There's also the primer, and this is actually one of her first products she released that was skincare but also could be used for makeup. I have been using this for almost 2 years, I would say. I mean, not the same bottle, but I had one in kind of like golden, had like a tinge of just bronzy golden color to it. It just gave you a little bit of color. It was great during the summer to complement. I wore it in the winter too because it was just nice. It had a little bit of a glisten to it. I've run out of that since, so I'm just using the regular, which is, I'll show you guys. It is white, but once you start spreading it, it becomes translucent. And I had gifted my friend this version, and she told me a few days ago she finally finished using it and she quite liked it. So I wouldn't say that it, you know, really enhances the wear of your makeup. I think it does help, like a good regular primer. What I think it is really nice for is to give you that added hydration throughout the day that isn't greasy. And because the golden version of this moisturizing primer, that will also give you a bit more color. So I think most people who decide to use this priming moisturizer is going to lean towards golden, and I should probably properly say its name. It's called Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturizer, and it is a collaboration with Augustin Spatter. Augustin Spatter has, you know, this amazing cream and other products. I've used a couple of products from them. I use their cleanser, the cream cleansing gel, and that is an excellent cleanser for my combo skin. So because of that technology, if you like it, you also might be interested in checking this out. For lips, I'm going to choose a shade from her Posh Lipstick line. I have 8 shades here. I do have one more shade that is somewhere in a purse. I'm going to go ahead and swatch them because it's been a while and we are playing with Victoria Beckham makeup today. I love these lipsticks. I have accumulated quite a few, and while I do have 8 shades, they are not all the shades that are available in the line. I think there's like 3 or 4 more that I don't have. I'm gonna first go with, in no particular order, yeah, just do that. So this is Spark. Pose is a deeper shade. Maybe we do Pose with this look. Still a neutral shade that's easy to wear. And then we have Jump, which is more berry, has more purple in it. This lipstick line has a shade for everybody. And then we have Sway. I'm going to turn down the lighting a little bit so you can see the shade differences a bit better. Spark is the pinkest of the 3, and then we have Jump, that is Most Berry. Then we have here, just as a swatch now, this is Sway. This is like kind of like a cool pink. And I think you can see it better with less of that ring light. And then another neutral shade. This is one of my favorite shades from her line. This is Spice. Kind of a brown, slightly orange tone, neutral lip. And it's just so easy. It goes along. It goes with so many different looks that I could pair Spice with this look and it'd be comfortable. It'd look put together as well. And then I have two, one bright, one deep shade. This is Fire. Fire has a pretty heavy orange undertone, not quite tangerine. It is a bit redder than that and brighter than that. It is beautiful, although I don't find myself wearing it too often. And then the last shade I have is Moody. She released over the holidays, and it is a beautiful deep plum. I am tempted to apply Moody with this look. What do you guys think? Who should we go with? You know, I also like to add her Posh gloss on top of these, or one of the lipsticks that I'm going to choose. So maybe we have to keep that in mind. You know what? I'm going to go with Pose. Let's do that because it's going to go well with one of the Posh glosses that I have. Not quite as dramatic as Moody, but still a deeper shade than some of the other options on here. And this is how the Posh lipstick looks, because there's quite a bit of oils and nourishing ingredients in the formulation. You're gonna have a pretty nice sheen to it, and it feels really comfortable. That's why I have so many shades, because I find myself just reaching for them so often. And then next, let's get into the gloss here. This is in the shade Poolside, which I think just seems like a great match with Sway. And this is with tan line added, so you can see the added gloss here. This Posh gloss is the glossiest gloss I have in my collection, but it is also one of the most comfortable glosses. That's why I think it's gonna be probably my favorite gloss that I've ever tried. And I'm set for the day. My lips are good. I don't really have to worry about them drying out now that we have these two really nourishing products on top of the lip balm I was using before. So the last item I'll get into is going to be the matte bronzing brick. I'm going to take my Rephr 22 here and just go into the shade. So this is called Soleil and this is Honey. So we'll go into Soleil, warm up these areas here. Taking Sonia G's Worker Fan brush, I'm going into Honey. And now we're gonna do just very light contouring. Optional, you could add some on the nose too, just because this Worker Fan, the shape of it is so great. I didn't go back for more product because there's always the risk that if it's too deep, then you're gonna get two lines here instead. So I'm using whatever is already on the brush. Another trick that I sometimes like to do, take a crease brush. So this is the Crease Pro from Sonia G, and then I could dab, any kind of light brown shade, but a bronzer is perfect for that. And I'll just add a little bit of color here to deepen this area. And you can see it's very subtle. I'm going back in for more product, but I'm also dabbing it on a tissue so I don't have excess. I definitely want this to be subtle. So I'm deepening this area just slightly so that when the light hits it, you can see there's just more dimension. This part is light, it's reflective, and then the other parts are a little bit deepened, kind of sucks in the light, so it just makes your face pop more. And basically tricking lighting to enhance your own features using makeup. That's what makes makeup fun for me. There is the finished look. I've used as much Victoria Beckham products that I have in my collection as possible, and it was really fun actually to swatch everything for you guys again. I think this is a good kind of update or revisit of the brand. Well, let me know below what you guys think of these products. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified every time new content is released. I review a lot of luxury makeup, occasionally skincare, and then I also have some new content that I've never done on this channel that's going to be posted very soon here. So see you guys in the next one. Bye.